damn, the intro be spicy. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Building Anaxes in LEGO. Today we got week 10. First of all, Zach, if you're watching this, the guy who made the intro, thank you so much, dude. That thing came out amazing. I have no idea how you did that, but hopefully you guys liked it. Of course, drop a like if you did. But welcome back. It's Saturday. We are here. We have a lot of stuff to cover today. This update's going to be pretty large physically in the sense that we got the entire road of Anaxes done. That's right. Last week I said I would try to get done. This week, throughout a couple live streams, I said that would be the end goal. And after probably about 8 or so hours of working and reworking stuff, I got the entire road done. And it's really honestly coming together now. But of course, before we go ahead and get any further with today's video, let's go ahead and give a huge thank you to our two series sponsors here. Number one, we have Brick Stuff. You guys know Rob, you know the drill. He makes literally the best light up bricks, light up custom kits you can use in LEGO. I've used a whole bunch of them in my Kesel Falcon, and of course I'll be using a lot of them, continuing to use his amazing products in Anaxes. So go ahead and check out their store, link down below in the description when you're checking out. Use coupon code TBW10 to save some money on your order. And last but certainly not least, we have minifigs for you. They have generously supplied the Bad Batch and a couple more figures coming very soon. So huge thank you to David. Definitely go show our series sponsors some love. So the main focus for this week is going to be that main road. Now what's really fantastic about getting the entire road done, it actually knocks out a lot of area to work with. As opposed to having to build up studs and then plate it off, I literally just have the snot bricks going in and out. So it saves a lot of money, saves a lot of time, saves a lot of space. And now for the first time, I can confidently say we have a really good idea as to how big the base is going to be, because we have that main road to go off of. I'm going to be explaining a lot of where each building is going to go, a lot of different awesome things, and of course a couple newer ideas that are going to be coming up. Speaking of new ideas, I do want to run this by you guys. My friend Lee, or Brick Builder Studios, a very talented young LEGO builder, T-Fall, he has created this design for an Anaxes tree, and I'm absolutely in love. I think I'm going to get a whole bunch of these, but of course I want you guys to let me know what you all think. So of course let me know down below in the comments what you're all thinking of that tree. So let's go ahead and jump right on to Building Anaxes in LEGO week number 10. The time lapses are back. I hope you guys enjoyed these time lapses. So this right here is me building the patterned sections. I actually didn't time lapse me building the entire road itself because the majority of the road is kind of boring, but this is where the interesting part happens. I have to build this sort of back platform that I believe is 8 or 9 bricks in height. This goes along the sides, and then I quickly switch to the actual individual pieces that go inside of the panels themselves. You guys can see there are a lot of individual moving parts, so it's a little tedious, a little boring. That's kind of why it took so much time to get this done, but other than that, I think it came out amazing. So I hope you guys enjoyed the time lapse. Hope you guys enjoyed the time lapse. I apologize for forgetting that last week, but here we have it. Here is the entire road. If you guys remember, last week we probably had up to about here done. Actually, basically it was this line right here. Everything to the left was done. So this week I essentially doubled everything. Now really quickly before we go ahead and get any further with the update, of course I do want to mention what's going on back here because this does not look complete. Obviously the title says otherwise. Some of you guys may know I am trying to very quickly finish the wall. I don't exactly have a rough estimate yet of how large the wall in terms of length and how far it's going to run. So essentially the reason why I left this section kind of not really 100% done yet, I'm waiting to basically finish the wall and have it run around the entire thing and make sure that everything lines up perfectly. So for that reason, this may be like 8th or 9th of the road is not done yet. But hopefully you guys can still appreciate everything else we got done, because one of the most important things that I'm going to be talking about today is scale. If you guys have been watching my series here on the channel, you know that getting a sense of scale is one of the most important things, especially when it comes to planning. Hopefully by the end of this video, you will all understand pretty confidently where everything's going to be going. Before I start yapping my mouth off about that, I do want to, of course, let you know what's kind of going on here. You might see a lot of clone troopers. Here we have some phase 2, of course, which will be featured on Anaxes and a lot others. I might be making a new video with those guys soon, so stay tuned for that. But in terms of the road here, this is what I'm thinking. I think the medical wing is basically going to go from this left side of clone troopers to basically maybe about 1/3 or maybe half of the way into this gray base plate. And then the rest of the section on this side is going to be devoted to the landing pad. So of course we have one right here. This right here is just the simple landing pad, and I did have it connect to the edge right there. And that's the great thing about snot, because everything connects. And I'm happy that I did end up going with the snot technique, because I did strongly consider using tile. And honestly, the bricks I consumed wasn't too much. Now obviously, hopefully on camera, this road looks pretty large, because it is, and let's be honest here, it is a lot of bricks in here. But I'm actually really surprised and happy with the amount of stuff I still have left over. So it's going to give us a really good start on the mountain and the interior of the base whenever we cross that road. So that's kind of that. And the idea is we're going to have 2 gunships right here. We're going to have the medical wing basically being from here to about here. One landing pad, and then the wall right here, and then we're going to have the whole entire base wall go into the right section. Now, what's also really important to notice about the road is I did have and leave enough sections for everything I've originally planned. So, of course, here we have the front section for the first 20 batch of clones. Then we have the ATT walker. Then we have the spots for the second section of clones. Then we have a spot for an ATT walker, and then the last and third section of 20 clones. I think this main road, once it's populated with both ATTEs, walkers, ATRTs, and everything, I think this is going to be one of the main eye catchers when it comes to the mock, because you're going to be able to look down this entire road and you'll just see troops upon walkers in the clone army. So that's going to be a really fun thing to see. Honestly, it's probably the thing I'm looking most forward to. Not necessarily seeing like a really cool base wall, but just seeing the line of clone troopers and just the army mobilize and leave Fort Anaxes. So that's going to be super cool. But really quickly, I'll try and give you guys an overhead shot. My voice might not be too clear at the moment, but this is basically how big the fort's going to be, from the front section right here to roughly around the back. So that being said, I do want to explain to you guys what's kind of going on with this side. We have this road built that's basically spanning the entire length of the base. I think this is a really good opportunity to talk a lot about what's going to go on this whole entire left side. So the idea was I'd have 2 barracks, a wall, and then a shield generator. And I think I'm still going to go with that because I do want to make sure it looks like a fort. Of course, it's a Fort Anaxes. It's not a clone base. It's a fort, which I think is a little different. So I don't know why, but to me, it's really important to make sure I have 2 barracks. And I think that's something we're still going to go with. So if you can imagine the barracks basically like the width of my finger, so right there and then right about there. Now of course that leaves us right at the edge right there. I'm going to stay pointing there, basically honestly the edge of here. We'll use Minecraft Steve. So I'm thinking both the barracks will span this entire area. We're going to have one, obviously we're going to have 2 separate individual ones right there, and then here's basically where it's going to end. Again, this is all rough estimate, this can all change, and then the idea is to have the wall that's like a separating barrier wall between the barrack and then the shield generator. Now the shield generator is pretty much like the one on Hoth, so I don't think it's going to be difficult to find a really good design or even just make one myself of that section. So that shield generator is basically going to go right here, and then we're going to have the exterior wall. So that's the idea for this entire section. Now, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to have that food court I was talking about because I really just don't have enough room between the medical bay going there and then the 2 landing pads. Now, a question I would like to pose to you guys as people who are, I think, genuinely interested in where this series is going to go. Do you think I'm okay with just doing 1 landing pad, or would you rather me do 2? Because I think if we only do 1, that leaves a little more breathing room for maybe other things. Maybe we can have like little supply stations on the side. I'm sure I could work it in. It's unfortunate because even though this table is huge and what we're building is big, it just sucks because it's not a big enough size to truly and accurately capture the entire base of Fort Anaxes. So let me know in the comments. I'm leaning towards just doing 2 gunship landing platforms and then the med bay right here. Then we can do some very small supply stations on either side. I think that's going to be enough. But of course, let me know what you guys are thinking. So again, to go over it, we're going to have the 2 barracks going roughly in that frame right there. And then where Minecraft Steve is, we're going to have the separating barrier wall and then the shield generators on Hoth. And then here we're going to have the 2 landing pads and then the medical bay. So hopefully the road makes it easier to kind of capture what we're doing and get, again, that sense of scale, something I'm always talking about, which I really do think is super important. But going back briefly to this whole thing, this whole magnificent road before we head out for today, this took a while. It's not really hard work necessarily, it's just really annoying because especially building all these individual little sections right here, this is individual, this is separate, separate. So it's kind of annoying having to go back and build all of those, but I think for the finished product that we do have on hand, it does just look absolutely gorgeous and fantastic. So I'm happy with how the road came out. I think I'm also really happy with the exact length of it. I think it gives us a lot of room, but not too much room. It gives us basically the perfect amount of room to work with when it comes to putting the walkers and the gunship and all the stuff in the fort. So I'll give you guys a couple more angles of this entire road before we head out, but I mean, this is definitely a big project, and like I said, I'm happy because I have a lot more brick left. Like, I think I bought maybe like 12 cups full of dark blue sky brick. I thought it was going to rifle through. It was like that. But I still have a decent amount left, so I'm really happy about that. But the road here is a great start to finishing the interior of the fort. And it's going to take a while. It's going to be a long, arduous process, but I'm really happy, and most importantly, I'm really motivated because I want to fulfill on this idea that I had with this base and with this MOC. I want this to be the best I've ever made it. So, of course, thank you all you guys for watching really fast. But that all being said, let's go ahead and jump on into the outro of today's video. So, guys, that is going to wrap up Building Anaxes in LEGO week number 10. I hope you all enjoyed, guys. I worked probably the hardest I've ever worked on this MOC, spending a lot of time with that road. It's tedious work. As you guys saw with the time lapse, it's really annoying. It's not necessarily hard work, but it's just very annoying and tedious. It's kind of just taking all the little different slabs and intricate parts that kind of go into the sides. But then, of course, seeing it as a final product here to show to you guys, I cannot be more happy and excited as to how it's coming out. Now, like I said before earlier in the video, the biggest thing, the most important thing, is not simply just the fact that we got the road done, but I was able to really explain to you guys how I'm imagining the space going. And of course, I think you all now, for the first time in this entire series, have a really solid idea as to how big everything's going to go, which building's going to go in which place. Now, of course, I really haven't started to get working on those buildings yet. I do, of course, still want to finish the wall and then finish the front section with the trees. But that stuff's coming up very, very soon, and we are really just on a roll right here. I'm basically trying to get as much done as I can before I go back to school in a couple of weeks. So, of course, let me know down below in the comments, do you guys like the length of the road? Do you need me to kind of push it more forwards or backwards? I may have briefly mentioned this earlier in the video, but the back section of the road isn't exactly done. That's because I'm not sure the exact stud length or width of the wall. Now, I do want to finish the corner wall pieces and then finish obviously the straight ones, but I'm not entirely 100% set on a certain length. So when I do end up finishing the wall, which hopefully will be in the coming next 2 or 3 weeks, that way I'll be able to finalize the road and get that kind of road and mesh it with the exterior environment in the back section of the fort. So for those of you wondering why I've been saying the road's done when it really doesn't look done in the back, I really don't want to finish it and spend unnecessary time right now and then you come back like 2 or 3 weeks later and realize I kind of messed up and redo it. So hopefully that makes sense. That's the only reason why the back section maybe doesn't look exactly 100% pristine. But needless to say, this week we got done a lot of stuff, and of course thank you all for tuning into the live streams. For those of you who did, it was super fun. That really is going to kind of bring this episode to an end. I hope you all enjoyed. Of course, drop a like down below and let me know down below in the comment section what you're all thinking. Now, you guys might have seen a little bit of a sizable army. I'm not too sure why that's there. Maybe that's hinting at a future Clone Army update video. So with that all being said, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Again, drop a like, guys, and if you're brand new to the channel, it seriously means a lot if you could consider subscribing, and make sure you all have that bell icon clicked, and that way you know as soon as I post. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your wonderful, wonderful day, and I'll see y'all later. Take it easy, fam. Peace.